Welcome to the I Told My Story. I'm Ray. The alarm went off once, then the 10th, the 20th, the 40th time. But me, I couldn't care less. I hugged the blanket tighter. I didn't even open my eyes. And then, Ray, my mom shouted. Anyone else would have jumped at the sound, but I didn't even move. The door opened abruptly. Daylight filled my room. Get up now.
The alarm went off for the 50th time. Can a person really be this lazy?
I opened my eyes, but when the light hit my face, I closed them again. I sighed. Oh, school again? Yes, school again. Come on, get up and put on your clothes right away. She added it before even being able to reply.
I prepared your breakfast in the kitchen. Hurry up.
When I got out of bed, I stepped on a soda bottle, lost my balance, and fell face down. My mom couldn't stop laughing.
How many times have I told you to clean your room? But no, you keep putting things off, always saying you'll do it tomorrow.
Now, to be honest, I think I might be the most lazy person in the world. Sometimes I even see myself as a lazy animal. You know, that cute little friend who sleeps for 20 hours a day, walks 3 kilometers in 2 weeks, and smiles even while hanging from a branch? See, I'm sure even they move more than I do. Why? Because I even postpone going to the bathroom. I keep thinking, I'll go in a bit. And sometimes it gets to a critical point. I shower every 2 weeks. I don't move much anyway, so how dirty can I get? I either leave my homework for the last day or do it if inspiration strikes. If the TV remote is out of reach, I just watch whatever comes on. I accept my fate. Even when my phone battery drops to 1%, I'm too lazy to get up. I once wondered if I could learn to live without my phone. That day, my eyes closed on their own in class. I unintentionally fell asleep. The math teacher was explaining something on the board, and everyone in the class was focused on the lesson. When I started snoring, the teacher noticed me, and suddenly their voice echoed through the classroom. "Ray!" she shouted. The teacher had noticed me and was glaring at me angrily. All eyes suddenly turned to me. I opened my eyes, sat up in a panic, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "All right, Mom. I'm getting up right now." There was a deep silence in the classroom. Then suddenly, laughter erupted. Everyone was in fits of giggles. "Sorry, miss, I thought I was at home," I said, but that only made things worse. The laughter grew even louder, and worst of all, the new girl at school, Perla, my unshakable platonic love that I can't forget. She was laughing too, to the point of tears streaming down her face. At that moment, I truly wished to sink into the ground. When I got home, I went straight to YouTube and searched for beginner home exercises to combat my laziness. A wonderful 15-minute video appeared. I clicked on it right away. The trainer appeared on the screen. First, lay out your mat and start with some stretching exercises. A mat? I didn't have one. I immediately sprawled on my bed. After all, the bed is soft enough. We're doing warm-ups now. Arms open and close. I opened chips. "Nice moves," I said, eating one. The guy did sit-ups. I just watched. He did push-ups. I popped a second chip into my mouth. The guy was drenched in sweat. "Respect to his determination," I said as I ended the video. And 15 minutes later, the trainer smiled at the screen and said, "Congratulations, you completed today's workout." I smiled and nodded. Wow, that was an amazing workout. I'm proud of myself. Then I reached for the chip bag and tossed another one into my mouth. Exercise really is an amazing thing, I laughed to myself. Post-training, I lay back on the couch in the living room. With the remote in my hand and my eyes on the screen, I had YouTube open to my favorite channel, watching My Story Is Here videos one after another. I was exhausted from all that exercise. I deserved a little rest, just as I reached the most exciting part. "Ray!" my mom shouted from the kitchen. Right now, even getting up to eat felt like too much effort. I could enjoy a little more relaxation. I rolled my eyes and ignored the voice. But my mom shouted again. "Ray!" I sighed. "All right, Mom, I'm coming!" "But you yelled!" I shouted. Moving slowly, I got up and walked toward the kitchen. With my phone in hand, I was still watching the video. But as soon as I entered the kitchen, the sight froze my blood. My mom was lying on the floor. "Oh my God!" I screamed. A wave of fear washed over me. This couldn't possibly be happening. We found ourselves in a hospital room. My mom was on the examination table, and the doctor was attending to her. "You could have lost your mother if you had been any later," the doctor warned, looking directly at me. I swallowed hard, feeling a heavy sense of guilt inside me. My mom forced a smile. "I'm fine, don't worry," she said in a quiet voice. The doctor furrowed his brows. "You've experienced a blood pressure crisis. It's quite dangerous considering your age. You must take care of yourself." He then looked directly into my eyes and said, "Young man, you've lost your father. You are the only support your mother has. You must take good care of her, don't you think?" I bowed my head and replied sadly, "Yes." The doctor extended the prescription to me. "You will take these medications regularly. You also need to take care of yourself and your studies. Don't neglect your mother, all right?" I nodded in shame. "Okay." Something twisted inside me. This couldn't go on like this. I went to my room that night and sat at my desk. I felt uneasy inside. My thoughts were troubling me. I opened my computer and found a video on YouTube's homepage. The title was boldly displayed, "The 5-second rule that can change your life." I narrowed my eyes and murmured, "What is this?" I clicked on the video, intrigued. A senior man showed up on the screen. His eyes were firm, and his voice was powerful and persuasive. "Your brain is wired to keep you in your comfort zone," he explained. "You have only 5 seconds to do something. If you don't act within 5 seconds, your brain will convince you to give up." I focused intently. The man continued, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act immediately. Don't hesitate. I mumbled to myself, okay, so what should I do now? What will I do instead of watching YouTube? At that moment, the old man on the screen raised his eyebrows and spoke as if he could hear me. "Look, you're still not moving. Stand up immediately." For a moment I was startled, but then, driven by a strange urge, I actually stood up. The old man leaned closer to the screen and smiled. "Well done.
Good job.
Now raise your hands and move them." Even though I thought to myself how silly it was, I did what he said. I raised my hands and waved them side to side. "Just like that," the man said, as if he could see me. "I just conducted a small test for you to help you turn this into a habit. Did you notice? Things get easier when you move without thinking. From now on, no pausing, no waiting, just act. Do we understand each other?" I nodded with a small smile. "Okay, I will definitely try it," I said to myself. Was it really that simple? If it's true, this could be a chance for me. The alarm was blaring wildly. I squinted my eyes and whispered, "Oh no, not school again." Just as I was about to press the snooze button, suddenly, yesterday's video flashed before my eyes. It was as if it was written on the screen in giant letters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I jumped out of bed. Wait a second, did I just get out of bed? Right at that moment, my mom opened the door. Her eyes widened as she stared at me. "Ray, is that you?" she asked in shock. I smiled and opened my arms wide. "Yes, my dear mom, it's me," I said, laughing. For the first time in my life, something had worked. First attempt. In class, I raised my hand. The teacher asked a question. I never raised my hand, but I counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and my hand was raised. The teacher turned to me in surprise. "Yes, Ray." I was just as shocked, but I realized I knew the answer. I gave the correct response and even got applause from the class. This had to be a dream. Trial 2, starting sports. I was reluctant to go to sports after school, but again I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and suddenly I found myself running out of the house. I jogged for 30 minutes. It was absolutely amazing. As soon as I opened my eyes early in the morning, I jumped out of bed. Without wasting any time, I dashed straight to the kitchen. Today, everything would be different. I rolled up my sleeves immediately. I cracked the egg, toasted the bread, and prepared the orange juice. Within minutes, the table was set. I had prepared a perfect breakfast for my mom. After a while, my mom entered the kitchen with sleepy eyes. She stopped in her tracks when she saw me. Her eyes widened in surprise. "Ray?" I smiled and gently gestured toward the chair. "Welcome, Mom. Your breakfast is ready." My mom rubbed her eyes as if she were dreaming. "Son, is that you? Are you okay? Did something happen?" she asked in shock. I smiled and nodded. "Yes, Mom, I'm a responsible person now," I said with a grin. My mom sat at the table, still in disbelief. Suddenly, I glanced at the clock. "Oh no, I can't be late for school, the 5-second rule," I yelled as I leaped up. My mom looked at me in astonishment.
What's this 5-second rule, son?
As I was running toward the door, I turned back and smiled. "I'll explain everything when I get home tonight, Mom." Then I hurried out of the house. I spotted Perla, my crush, while hurrying to class. I hadn't even said hi since she arrived. I started counting in my head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and suddenly, I found myself standing in front of her. "Hi, Perla, I'm Ray from our class. We haven't had the chance to introduce ourselves since you arrived." "I just wanted to say hi," I said with a slightly nervous, trembling voice. Perla smiled. "Nice to meet you." I paused for a second, but I decided I wouldn't be my old self today. I counted silently again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. "How about we eat something together during lunch?" I inquired. Perla gently tilted her head and smiled.
Of course, why not?
She replied. Inside, I felt victory bells ringing. The 5-second rule truly worked. Yes, friends, the 5-second rule really changed my life.
Ray, I'm interrupting you, but I have something to say to the audience. Of course, go ahead. You, yes you, the lazy one watching us right now. No offense, but I'm not talking about those who are diligent and orderly. However, you who have turned procrastination into a habit, wasting years by saying I'll do it later. Now raise your hands up, move quickly. Now please subscribe to this channel in 5 seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. See, it's really not that difficult to take action, right?
Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope the 5-second rule transforms your life as well. Take care and see you soon.